Some stories aren't meant to begin with a smile. Some begin with a stare, a rule, a warning, and a promise of everything you're not supposed to want. Twisted Games by Ana Huang begins in a place where power meets duty and explodes into obsession. It's a story about a forbidden romance so electric it scorches everything in its path. A modern fairy tale wrapped in secrets and lies, where the princess isn't innocent and her knight doesn't wear white. Bridget von Ashburg is royalty, a real princess, second in line to the throne of Eldura. She's elegant, polished, and graceful, but she's also fierce, smart, and suffocating under the weight of tradition. Every move she makes is watched, every word she says measured. Her life is a carefully constructed palace of duty and appearance. The only space where she can breathe is behind closed doors, but even there, she's never alone. Not since her new bodyguard arrived. Rhys Larson. Rhys is everything Bridget isn't supposed to want. He's brutal, he's cold, he's relentless, with scars on his knuckles and silence in his eyes. A man who doesn't smile, doesn't bend, doesn't lose control. He's the wall between her and the world. The man who would take a bullet for her, but never touch her, never speak to her beyond what's required. Rhys doesn't believe in fairy tales. He believes in danger, in violence, in protecting the crown at all costs. And Bridget is not part of his mission. She's just the job. Until she isn't, what starts as tension turns to temptation. A stolen glance, a moment too long in the silence. Bridget pushes, Rhys resists. She teases, he burns, but no matter how hard they try, they can't stop what's already begun. Desire turns their rules into ash. Bridget is supposed to marry a duke, represent a country, live a life dictated by centuries of expectation. Rhys is supposed to stay in the shadows, unseen, unfelt, but she lights a fire inside him that won't go out, and he becomes the only place she feels real. Ana Huang paints their romance in shades of obsession and slow-burn seduction. Rhys fights every instinct. Bridget fights for her freedom. Their chemistry simmers under every argument, every act of defiance. She wants more than a cage made of gold. He wants more than pain and blood. They want each other, but wanting is dangerous. Because if anyone finds out, the consequences won't just destroy them. They'll destroy an entire kingdom. Bridget's world begins to shift when tragedy strikes. Her brother, the crown prince, abdicates the throne. Suddenly, she's no longer just the princess. She's the heir, the future queen. Everything changes. Her duties, her power, her cage. Now there's no room for mistakes, no room for forbidden love. Rhys knows what this means. He has to walk away. Because he's not a nobleman, he's not royal, he's not even clean. He's been shaped by violence and shadows. But the thought of losing her breaks something inside him he never knew was whole. They try to let go. To go back to what they were before, the stolen nights and whispered promises. But neither of them can forget. Rhys is Bridget's protector, but she's the only one who makes him feel human. And for Bridget, Rhys is the only man who's ever seen her beyond the crown. Beyond the role, he sees her rage, her ambition, her hunger to live for herself. And he doesn't shrink from it, he worships it. The palace becomes a battlefield. Secrets are weapons. Eyes are everywhere, and the love growing between them threatens to collapse everything. Rhys becomes more possessive. Bridget becomes more reckless. And they both start to realize that loving each other might be the most dangerous thing they've ever done. Huang masterfully shows the push and pull between honor and passion. Rhys is haunted by his past, by the war he fought in, by the people he lost, by the coldness he wears like armor. But Bridget is a flame he can't resist. She's his weakness and his strength. She makes him feel again, and with her, he isn't. The guard? He's a man. But the world won't let them be just that. It demands sacrifice. One of them has to give up everything or they lose each other. Bridget tries to find another way. She considers running, escaping, leaving the title behind. But being queen is not just a duty, it's her chance to change things. She realizes she doesn't have to become the puppet they want her to be. She can build her own throne, her own rules. But she wants Rhys with her, not hidden in shadows, not exiled. She wants him beside her, not behind her. And Rhys has to decide if he can step out of his past and into her future. The emotional stakes are high. The pain is real. There are moments that will break your heart, but there are also moments that make you believe in love that defies everything. Rhys begins to fight for her, not as a bodyguard but as a man willing to burn the world down for the woman he loves. And Bridget claims her power not just as royalty but as a woman who refuses to be owned by anyone, not even love. The story builds to a climax that's both intense and deeply satisfying. There's a public reckoning, a choice made under pressure, a declaration that turns centuries of tradition upside down. And in the end, love doesn't come quietly. It arrives like a storm, like a crown breaking in two. And the happily ever after isn't about perfection, it's about freedom. It's about two people daring to want more than what they were born into. Twisted Games is a breathtaking blend of royalty, romance, bodyguard, temptation, and emotional transformation. It explores themes of power, identity, choice, and control. It's not just about love, it's about self-worth, about tearing down what no longer fits and building something real. Bridget and Rhys are unforgettable because they fight not just for each other but for themselves. Ana Huang gives readers everything: steamy scenes that sizzle with tension, heartbreaking moments that ache with truth, and an ending that makes the journey worth every twist. This isn't just a love story, it's a war between fate and desire, between rules and rebellion. And in the end, it's a story about rewriting destiny with your own hands. If you love forbidden romance, royal intrigue, brooding protectors, and heroines who claim their power, Twisted Games is your next obsession. You won't just listen to this audiobook, you'll feel every second of it. Link in description.